What if the reality we perceive is merely shadows cast on a cave wall? This is a question that one man, born in Athens around 427 BCE, contemplated deeply. This man was Plato, an enigma who would become one of the most celebrated figures in the realm of philosophy. Born into an aristocratic family deeply entrenched in the political world of Athens, Plato was destined for a life of influence and prestige. His lineage boasted connections to some of the most powerful figures of the time, including the early kings of Athens and the lawmaker Solon. Yet it was not the allure of political power that captivated young Plato, but rather the world of ideas, the pursuit of truth, and the exploration of the human condition. Raised in the heart of Athens, a city teeming with intellectual fervor, Plato received a comprehensive education. His formative years were shaped by literature, music, gymnastics, and philosophy, molding him into a well-rounded scholar. Yet the greatest influence on his intellectual development was likely the renowned philosopher Socrates. Although the specifics of their relationship remain shrouded in mystery, it is widely accepted that Socrates was a mentor to Plato, igniting in him a passion for philosophy that would shape the rest of his life. In this fertile intellectual environment, Plato began to question the nature of reality, knowledge, and morality. His mind, trained by Socrates, grappled with complex concepts and theories, refusing to accept the superficial explanations of his time. He was a thinker, a questioner, a man who dared to venture into the unknown territories of thought and cognition. The young Plato, nurtured on the wisdom of Socrates and the richness of Athenian culture, was on the cusp of a philosophical journey that would forever change the world. His ideas would challenge established norms, provoke thought, and inspire countless generations to come. From these early beginnings, Plato would grow to become one of the most influential philosophers in history. Imagine being a student of Socrates, the man who dared to question everything. Now, let's delve into the world of Plato, a young man whose life was profoundly influenced by this audacious philosopher. Plato was not just a student, but a devoted follower of Socrates. Socrates' unique approach to philosophy was a catalyst for Plato's own thinking. He admired Socrates' relentless pursuit of truth, his refusal to accept anything at face value, and his commitment to the dialectic method, a form of argumentative dialogue which was a radical departure from traditional methods of teaching. The trial and execution of Socrates, however, was a turning point in Plato's life. Watching his mentor, his friend, unjustly sentenced to death by the Athenian democracy he had once admired, left a deep impression on Plato. It was a harsh realization of the potential for injustice, even within a system that is ostensibly designed to uphold justice. This event sparked a profound disillusionment within Plato towards Athenian politics and the very nature of democracy itself. It's no surprise, then, that Plato's philosophical works often criticize the democratic system, pointing out its potential to be swayed by rhetoric and public opinion, rather than rational thought and justice. But Plato didn't wallow in despair. Instead, he used his disillusionment as a springboard for exploration. This led to his subsequent travels across Italy, Egypt, and Cyrene, where he immersed himself in the study of philosophy, mathematics, and the sciences. These journeys broadened his horizons, fueling his desire to build a society based on justice and virtue rather than power and rhetoric. In these travels, Plato carried with him the teachings of Socrates, preserving his mentor's legacy through his own philosophical writings. His experiences, combined with Socrates' teachings, laid the groundwork for what would become Plato's most significant contribution to philosophy, the theory of forms. In the wake of Socrates' death, Plato embarked on a journey, both literal and philosophical, that would change his life forever. This journey was not just about self-discovery, but about envisioning a society where justice, truth, and virtue were the guiding principles. And so, the stage was set for the next chapter in Plato's life, the founding of the Academy. What if you could start a school where the pursuit of knowledge was the highest goal? This is exactly what Plato, the illustrious philosopher, did when he returned to Athens after his travels. With a fervent desire to impart wisdom and a vision for a more enlightened society, he established the Academy, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. The Academy was not just any school, it was a vibrant intellectual hub where ideas and discourse flowed like a river. Here, subjects were not restricted to philosophy alone. Mathematics, astronomy, and political theory were also part of the curriculum, reflecting Plato's belief in a well-rounded education. The academy was a place where the mind was not just filled with facts, but also trained to think critically and question relentlessly. Among the illustrious students who walked the halls of the academy, one name stands out: Aristotle. He was, perhaps, the most famous student of Plato, and his work would build upon and sometimes challenge the teachings of his mentor. Their relationship is a testament to the academy's spirit of intellectual freedom and rigorous debate. Yet, the academy was more than just a school. It was a symbol of Plato's belief in the transformative power of education. As a teacher, Plato was not just imparting knowledge, he was molding minds, shaping character, and inspiring a love for wisdom. His approach to teaching was not about rote memorization, but about cultivating the ability to think, reason, and understand. The influence of the academy on Western philosophy and education cannot be overstated. It was here that the foundation of Western thought was laid, and it was here that the torch of knowledge was passed from one generation to the next, keeping the flame of wisdom alive through the ages. Through the academy, Plato's ideas would reverberate throughout the ages, influencing countless thinkers and shaping the course of Western philosophy. The academy was not just a school, it was a beacon of enlightenment, a testament to the power of knowledge, and a monument to the enduring legacy of Plato. Have you ever wondered what a society ruled by philosophers would look like? A question that Plato, one of the most influential figures in Western philosophy, sought to answer in his seminal work, The Republic. In this utopian dialogue, he presents us with the concept of the philosopher king, a ruler who is not only well-versed in politics and governance, but also deeply rooted in philosophical wisdom and understanding. Plato argues that the ideal state, a just society, would be one ruled by philosopher kings. These are individuals who have achieved a deep understanding of the forms, Plato's metaphysical concept representing the perfect, eternal, and unchangeable realities that our everyday world merely attempts to imitate. According to Plato, these philosopher kings, with their profound grasp of the forms, would be best equipped to govern, as they would understand the ultimate truths of justice, beauty, and goodness, and would therefore rule with wisdom and fairness. This might seem like a lofty ideal, and indeed, Plato's concept of the philosopher king has been both praised for its vision and critiqued for its potential for elitism. But it is important to remember that for Plato, the philosopher king is not a dictator, but a servant of the people, a wise guide steering the ship of state toward the good. And whether or not we agree with Plato's vision, it's undeniable that his ideas have had a profound impact on political thought and governance. From the Renaissance humanists to modern political philosophers, thinkers have grappled with the idea of the philosopher king, questioning what it means to be a just ruler and how philosophy can inform and guide governance. So, as we reflect on Plato's vision, we might ask ourselves, what would our world look like if it were ruled by philosopher kings? Would it be a utopia of justice and wisdom, or a dystopia of elitism and intellectual arrogance? The answers to these questions are as diverse as the people who ponder them. Plato's vision of a just society, ruled by philosopher kings, continues to challenge and inspire us. As we journey through the complexities of his thought, we find ourselves confronted with profound questions about justice, wisdom, and the nature of good governance. What does it mean to leave a legacy that transcends time? Plato, the famous student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle, managed to do just that. His philosophical ideas, ranging from the theory of forms to the allegory of the cave, continue to resonate with us, centuries after his passing. When we delve into the theory of forms, we find a timeless perspective on the nature of reality. Plato proposed that the world we perceive is merely a shadow of a higher realm of perfect forms. This idea, while ancient, still sparks discussions in modern philosophy and science, challenging our understanding of reality and perception. His allegory of the cave, an incredibly powerful metaphor, is another testament to Plato's enduring legacy. It invites us to question the nature of knowledge and ignorance, to challenge our perceptions, and to seek the truth beyond the shadows and illusions that surround us. This allegory has found its way into modern literature, cinema, and popular culture, demonstrating its profound relevance and influence. Plato's works also had a profound impact on various fields. In philosophy, his ideas laid the foundation for Western philosophical tradition. In political science, his vision of the philosopher king and his contemplation on justice and governance continue to fuel debates. In education, his methods of Socratic questioning encourage critical thinking and active learning. Moreover, Plato's Academy, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world, set a precedent for future educational institutions, fostering intellectual growth and development for generations to come. In conclusion, Plato's legacy is not merely a collection of philosophical theories. It's a profound influence that shapes our understanding of reality, our approach to knowledge, and our perspective on governance and education. His philosophical ideas, despite being centuries old, continue to be relevant, pushing us to think, to question, and to seek the truth. Plato's shadows on the cave wall continue to captivate us, challenging us to question our perceptions and seek the truth.